Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth with Scott Leroy Marketing, and welcome to Make Your Mark with Amazing Marketing Designs 101. Today, I am in Mozilla Firefox as we're going to be in Designs, and we found that Designs works best with Firefox. So to start out, I'm going to go to agent.kw.com. Enter my username, which of course is not case sensitive. Then you'd enter your password and click Sign In. Once you're all signed in and the page is loaded, let's head over to the applet menu on the left-hand side. While you're still learning the name of the applets, you can click on the red square with the white KW to expand the name of the applets. And here is where you'll see Designs. It's third from the bottom. It's the square with the paintbrush icon. So let's click that. And it'll take you to My Design Templates. So here is where you can see all of your designs that you have previously created. Of course, if you're new or haven't created any designs yet, you won't see anything here. You won't see any of these tiles here. And of course, yours won't look the same as mine anyways, because these are my designs that I've created. You'll see across the top, there's 4 buttons. This separates your designs by emails, social, so posts like to Facebook, Instagram, etc. Print, like presentations, flyers, postcards, magazines, and video, using the neighborhood, neighborhood videos. So let's start today and click the blue circle with the white plus at the bottom right corner to create a design. You'll see the different options here. Today we're going to go over social and print, but be sure to check out our Marketing with Command class taught by Bailey, and she'll go over email. Import PDF is kind of like Adobe Acrobat Pro. If you've heard of that or used that previously, you can upload a PDF and edit it really nicely. And then of course, video is what you see behind these neighborhood videos. It'll walk you through how to create those. So let's start with clicking on social, then clicking next. And of course, it's wanting to take its sweet time today. Goodness, let's try and refresh. Create, social, next. There we go. It'll redirect you to the WeBrand Design Editor. Along the top here, you'll see 3 tabs: Templates, My Designs, and Brand Assets. In My Designs is where you'll see again, where you've created all your designs. A great way to organize this is to create folders. You can do so by clicking this new folder over here on the right-hand side. And what's great about creating a new folder is you can simply drag and drop any of your pieces right away. You'll also see how you can start from blank. So you can select any format that Command has, such as, oh, if it lets me scroll, postcards, door hangers, flyers, tons of different options here. Import PDF files. You can click or drag and drop to insert a PDF to start editing those. And then, of course, another shortcut to templates. Heading over to the third tab at the very top, Brand Assets. This is where you can update your personal info, very similar to the marketing profile in Command. Stuff like your headshot, stock photos, name, emails, etc. At this time, the marketing profile does not syndicate over, so you do want to make sure your information is up to date in each of these sections. In the first one, you're defaulted to colors and fonts. You'll find where you can set up your color palette and fonts if your branding has any of these particulars. Next section is logos. Here is where you can update your Market Center logo and your team logo if you have one. To find those logos, head over to My KW. And if you're signed into Command on the same browser, in the same window, you can go right to it and it'll sign you in. Click Marketing in the black menu. Click the first tile, Logos and Branding. And then scroll down just a hair, just about to the middle of the page. You can search for your Market Center, either by number or by name. And you can download the whole suite of logos there. That's where I got all of my different colors of logos. White, white and gray, gray and black, red and white, red, gray and black. But you would also store your team logo here. I'm just not on a team, so you don't see any of that. Smart text, things like, your phone number, email address, name, address. Different pieces of text you can have auto-populate on your designs. Images. Here's where you want to put things like your headshot, any stock photos you're going to use, like the fronts of houses or insides. Elements is similar to clip art, also known as stickers, objects. Different places call them different things. If you have like the Facebook logo, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Yelp, things like that. Videos. If you want to use the same video on different design pieces, I would stick it here. And last but not least, files. I always suggest starting out with brand assets to make sure what you want to put on a design is loaded in and ready for you. So now that we've done that, let's head back over to templates. the very first tab at the top left. Then you'll see this menu along the left-hand side. You can drop down each of these headings to see the different categories that it holds. Has different designs for the KW app. Of course, with all of these, you can download as a Jpeg and use pretty much anywhere, Facebook, in an email, in any outside system. Under listings, you'll see coming soon, for sale. This is where we're going to come back to create a piece today. You'll also see, as you go through the different sections, you'll see the different sizes that it'll allow: social wide, social square, social stories. Each of these are formatted to fit those types. Under lead generation, different formats there. Business basics, things like email signatures, social branding. You could also use these for Zoom backgrounds. So lots and lots of different options under here. We definitely suggest going through and checking out all of the designs so you kind of have a heads up on what Designs has to offer. So heading back up to listings, clicking on the for sale section, we're going to create a social wide design today. So I'm going to narrow it down. And you would pick the design you would like to use. Today I'm going to use this first one. Hover over it, and then you'll see the red Use button pops up. So to select that one, you'll click Use. We'll let that load up. Perfect. So you're going to be defaulted to the Images section over here on the left, and to My Assets. So you'll see here's my headshots that have come over from Brand Assets. You can also see, if you tab over to the second tab, Company, Keller Williams has uploaded several stock photos. You can use these for generic posts, like anything real estate related, but wouldn't suggest really using them for a specific listing. And then you'll see these purple bubbles pop up. This is Gary Keller showing you through designs here. For now, I'm going to skip these since that's basically what I'm doing here today. So you'll see some of these images here. Some stock house interiors. So lots of different things to choose from. And then the very first tab is Add. So if you wanted to manually upload, you could click or drag and drop your pictures here. The next section is text. Again, you have Add. If you want to manually add one or upload, you can click or drag and drop. Banners, similar to clip art, just some stock already created for you text. Company, this is where you'll find each office is independently owned and operated if your design doesn't already have it populating. And then, of course, My Assets. So here's where you'll see all of your little bits of text come through. Icon. Again, you'll see the tabs along the top looking pretty similar, pretty familiar. You can add, see the stock, see what Keller Williams has, and see My Assets. Logos, same story. My Assets, what you have in your brand assets, and logos uploaded by the company or Keller Williams. So you'll see different logos for Red Day, Luxury, Labs. Here's also where you can find Keller Williams logos, not specific to your market center, of course, but and then last but not least, KWLS. At the very beginning, you can check that box that says import your listing, or you can always come here. So if you forgot to check that box, and I'll show you that later when we create a print piece. Otherwise, you can come down here and check out the search box and search for your listing here. So let's enter an address here, press enter to apply it, and you'll see all the different listings that come up. Once you choose yours, you can click select, and you'll see not only the photos, but also the listing details come in from KWLS. So let's pop over back to photos, and I want to use this photo here for my design. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can either click and hold and drag over. So see how it literally looks like it's coming straight over from the photos. And then once the image changes, you can release your mouse and you'll see it's loading along the top there. So KWLS photos tend to do this a whole lot. They'll pop up to the top left of the outline here. So I'm gonna retry doing this and just click add image and then move it over. I'm gonna center it there. Next, we're gonna change the address here. So I'm gonna click the address so it outlines in blue. Just click it once. Pop over to the listing details tab and find the property address field. And then I'm going to click the two arrows that form a circle. This is replace. Once I click that, you'll see that it replaces the old text with this text. If you need to expand that because it came over in 2 rows, feel free. You can also reposition not only this line, but this box. And you'll see as I'm pressing and holding or clicking and holding and dragging, these grid lines are popping up, making sure I have everything aligned. So it kind of snaps to those grid lines to make sure the piece looks good for you. Next piece I want to replace are the details here. So you'll see we have bed, bath, square foot, and price all in one field. Now this is how the design is created, but this is not how these listing details like it to be. So instead of just simply clicking replace here, because if we do that, I'll show you. If we just simply click replace, it won't replace all of that info, bed, bath, square foot, price. It just replaces the price. So instead, what I like to do, and of course this is not residential, so it won't have bed and bath, but you can double click in this field and type. And let's find square footage. Doesn't look like that's pulled over from MLS as well. But for this test, we can pretend. And then of course, if you need to move or resize, you can do that by either clicking and holding the blue or the white dots. Next, we want to replace this. So again, what is shown here on the left-hand side is what will be replaced with. So since this field says built in 2015, we don't just want it to say 1893. No one will know what that is. So we just want to manually update this field. And you can do so by double clicking, and you'll see it automatically highlights what I had my mouse over. And then I'm just going to manually type that in there. And then I can click off into this gray space to deselect. And then last but not least, we can replace the office logo, the Market Center logo. So I'm going to click to select, and then it's going to bring me over to the logo section automatically. So I'm going to flip over to My Assets, pick which logo I want that'll show up best on this design, and click Replace. And you'll see this is a square logo. So you can also move your logos by using the directional pad on your keyboard. So I just press and held the up arrow to move that up. And then as it moves up, I'm just resizing this, moving it to the left a little. And when it's good to go, I can click in the gray space to deselect. Once I have this piece all done, it's ready to go, I'm going to File, Save. Now, I always suggest this, especially if it does default to use autosave, just in case. I'm one of those that have been burned too many times by not saving, so I always like to save almost too much. And we're going to rename this 123 Main Street, FB for Facebook. And then I can press enter on my keyboard, or just click off again to deselect to apply that name. Next, we're going to go to download, and you'll see you have three options: get JPEG, get PNG, and get PDF. You can use any one of these options really, but for Facebook in particular, they like JPEG and PNGs. So you can either use this and go straight to Facebook from here to upload and post, or you can use this piece in the campaign section of Command. Feel free to check out that class for more details on how to do that. So I'm going to stay here on Get JPEG. I'm just going to leave the quality, all those details, and then click Start Download. And again, I'm in Firefox. So once that is done downloading, you'll see the download ready pop up pretty quickly. So don't worry if you miss it, but it's going to come up here to the download section. And I'll open that file for y'all to see. There we have it. So now I can click Done, and this will take me back to Command. In fact, let me go ahead and show you how to use campaigns, just a brief overview. Again, you can see full details in our other class showing you campaigns. You can find your Market Center number at the very top of My KW. So if you're already signed into Command, you can open a new tab, type in mykw.kw.com, and your Market Center number is right here at the top. So from campaigns, we can pop over to social posts and see your calendar. Social posts is similar to Hootsuite. It's where you can kind of schedule out not only the week, but really the whole month. We can click Create, which is in the top right. Social post. I'm going to let it preview and crop that Market Center logo. And just start working away. So first field, what would you like to share? The text. Upload photo. You can leave it as choose from designs, or you can upload images since we did download it. But for simplicity, I'm going to browse from designs, select my first one, my most recent one, and it'll load that in. It's going to default to a square, but if you drop down this arrow here, you can change it to the wide, 1.91 by 1. So you'll see it crops that perfectly. And you can click Crop Image to apply that. Next section is the Dba logo, which of course is optional. Since we created our piece with our Market Center logo already on it, I'm going to go ahead and click this X to remove that. And then same situation for the ownership statement. If you had not already included it on your design piece, you can always check this box to include your ownership statement, which again is each office is independently owned and operated. Quick tip, I would highly suggest not using this logo and that phrase on your design piece necessarily, because you can add it here and it may not affect Facebook's need for the text not exceeding the 20% of the image. Next section, when would you like to post? Would you like to schedule this out for the future? You can click this little calendar icon here to pick whatever future day. Let's say it's going live next Monday. You can also select the time. You can either toggle the up and down arrows, or if it's something, you don't want to click a whole lot, you can just simply type it in there as well. And then there is no apply button. What you would do to apply those changes is just click off in the gray space and you'll see that calendar collapse. This training will be posted on our YouTube channel later this afternoon. Takes just a few hours to convert it and upload it and all that fun stuff. Yeah, definitely. And our YouTube is youtube.com/Scott Leroy Marketing. The other option is to publish immediately, which of course is immediately, so that calendar piece will go away. And then last section is to select your pages. Now I only have my Facebook connected, so I only show this one option, but you may have other options here where you can select or deselect the different pages. Definitely want to check out the preview over on the right-hand side to make sure it looks how you want it to look. Once you're ready, you can publish post. If you're not ready quite yet, you can save as draft. Either way, if you check this box, this will take you into this screen again to quickly create another social post. So for now, I'm going to save this as a draft, since that's not even my listing, not even the real details for it. So next part, we're going to go back to designs, which again is the square with the paintbrush icon. We're going to click the blue circle with the white plus at the very bottom to create another. And this time we're going to use a print piece. And we're going to import photos and text from a listing. So I can show you what that one is. Then click Next. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Scott Leroy Marketing. And that'll take you right to our channel. Yeah, you're welcome. So you'll see by checking that box to import photos and text from a listing, this pops out KWLS 2.0 from the right-hand side. And we're going to choose the listing first. So for this design, I'm going to use an actual listing. Oh, if I can type. Freedom Road, Harrisonville, perfect. And once you've found your listing, make sure, of course, it's the correct one. You'll click the white select, and it'll take you into the WeBrand Design Editor, just as Social did. Perfect. Now for this one, I'm also going to do a listing for sale, which it has defaulted me to. And we're going to create just a simple flyer today. So I'm going to flip over to the flyers, and it's going to be a letter size, which is the 8.5 by 11. So just the typical size of a sheet of paper. I'm going to choose my design, which one I like the best, hover over it, click Use, and edit the entire flyer with the same process. You'll also see you have the ability to zoom in and out here on the very bottom right corner. So I'm going to zoom in. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. I'm going to click the address here, hop over to the KWLS section, listing details. Property address is generally up top, and simply click Replace. Again, if you find that this is 2 lines and it looks really big, then you can resize it here by just pressing and holding on the white circles. If you need to move it, make sure you have this 4 arrows in a cross, and you can place that where you would like. And same thing with this line. I'm going to deselect everything by clicking in the gray space, and I'm going to come over here, and as soon as that white arrow comes up, I'm going to click and drag and utilize these grid lines that pop up. And once I Like where it's all centered, I can release. Next is the details of it, 3 bed, 2 bath. Nope, that's going to be all wrong. So I'm going to come over to the listing details and simply double click to manually change this info. And of course, coincidentally, it is 3 bed, 2 bath. But the square feet is going to be right above that, and it's going to be 1152. And then the price, going to highlight that, type in the correct price. Perfect. Clicking in the gray space to deselect. Looks good. If I do need to resize, I can by clicking and dragging the white circles on the corners. Looks good. All right, working my way down. Next is the picture. I'm going to click to select, come back over to photos. Let's see if they work on this side here. This is a kitchen photo, so I'm going to replace with a kitchen photo. Let it load. Nope. So I'm just going to simply click add here and move that. Of course, if I also had the listing photos saved to my computer, I can go up to images, add, and click to upload. Scrolling down, let's go back to the listing details in the KWLS section to find the year that was built, 73. So I'm going to double click to manually edit this field. Because again, if I were to replace with this, it wouldn't say built in, it would just have the year. Property description. Now this is probably my favorite field to replace, just because that's a lot of information that's going to be coming over. I'm going to zoom out a bit here because property description is at the very bottom of this list. So I'm going to click to select the current property description and then come over and click replace. And you'll see it updates immediately. And now I'm just going to resize so that it fits nicely. Maybe center it here. Maybe even make it even bigger. Or if you would like, you do have the option to change the font here at the top. So let's make it a little bigger. Not quite that big. There we go. You can even change the font itself if you want something, you know, a little fancier. And then click in the gray space to deselect. Continuing replacing the info, I'm going to come over here and add some more pictures. And again, because the KWLS photos are not playing nice, I'm just going to manually move these over here. And let's do this one. Again, resizing with the white dots and moving by clicking and dragging and using the grid lines to help me snap it into place, aligning it with all the other features on the flyer. Last but not least is the agent section. So I'm going to click on my photo or the headshot. It's not my photo yet. Come over to images, my assets, and replace image. Oh, and it looks like that one's not working either. So let's click the gray space to deselect, and then the plus to use image. Again, using the white circles to resize. I'm going to delete the previous one with the delete key on my keyboard. And here's where I like to use the replace function as well. So I'm going to click the name here, come over to text, my assets, and replace text. So it replaces with my name right away. Again, I'm skipping these purple bubbles because that's what I'm going over now. If you accidentally changed the background, do you mean like accidentally clicking the use as background? If you do that, here, let me show you, for instance. You can click, and then at the very top right, you'll see a little trash can icon. And if you hover over it, it'll say remove background. You can click that, and it'll remove it. And then you can also use the undo and redo little icons features up here at the top left. Although I have found that those are kind of finicky. So I just like to use the trash can icon when it pops up. And then next is this phone number, email, app. So you'll see how all three of these details are in one square here. So unfortunately, the smart text in my assets is not going to work to replace each of these individual pieces. But what I can do is replace with one, and then double click to edit and add the remainder. Like so. Or you can also, and I'm going to delete that so I can show you the next option. Click in the gray space to deselect, and then just add the next field. So the next piece of information was the email address. So I'm going to click that one to add. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I can change it to the same color, or I can leave it a different color. And then last piece was the app. I don't have the app in my smart text, but I do have my website, so I'm going to use that instead. And then last but not least, of course, the Market Center logo. I'm going to click to select. And then here's where I like to have all the different colors of the logos, because now I can choose the all white one, click replace, use my arrow keys to move it up. And I can even put it up here if I want, and kind of move it around wherever you would like. There is a listing presentation in Command you can edit. Yes, definitely. There's actually about 5 or 6 different designs, different color schemes too. I believe we do have a, excuse me, a quick tip video on how to do the listing template or the listing presentation. And it is, Designs has the same features for all of the design pieces. So using these tips with the logos and how to replace, how to change the text, font and color and whatnot will all apply to the listing presentation template as well. So now that we have every piece of this flyer changed, again, I like to file save. Just makes my heart happy. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to name this one also the address and name it flyer afterwards. If you have a different sort of naming convention, feel free to use it. And then next, click download. Now, since this is a flyer and I want to print it out, I can print it out at my office or FedEx, Staples, a buddy's house, what have you. I'm going to use Get PDF. And it'll remind you here, this is ideal for document printing. You'll have all pages, current page, or download in range options. So this is just a one pager. I could leave it at all pages, current page, or download in range. But for, like it was just mentioned, the listing presentation where you have more than one page, you want to be sure you select the correct option here. Next section is the quality. Since I am wanting to print it, I do want to change it to the high resolution print quality. If, for instance, I just wanted to send this as an attachment in an email, maybe for the seller's approval, you could just leave it at the standard web quality. But for print, I'm going to change it. And then click Start Download. You'll see its status up here, left center at the very top. Again, I'm in Firefox, so it's going to alert me. Chrome, Edge, Safari may be different. And then here is it open, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Perfect. So last but not least, I want to show you a few of the design pieces we have on our website as well. So heading over to our website, which is just simply scottleroymarketing.com. And at the very beginning of class, I went ahead and logged in to pull up the calendar, but you will need to log in to see this information. So when you click login, you'll be prompted to enter either your Market Center number or your Market Center password. If you don't know either, feel free to contact us or your Market Center leadership, and they should be able to help you out with that information. Once you're logged into our website, you can hover over KW Resources and click Templates. Here at the very top, you'll see a video on how to use these templates, especially for an email signature. And I'll do a quick overview now on how to do this. So if you would like the further details, a longer explanation, or you are having trouble and need more detail, feel free to watch this video. But you'll see all of our templates here. You got flyers, coming soon, calendars, business cards. Today, I'm going to show you real quick how to create an email signature. So I'm going to click Email Signature here. You will need to be signed into a Google account to view these. If you don't have a personal Google account, your KW email is one. So you can use that to log in. And let's see if I remember that password. Nope, already messed up. Let's see if that worked. Perfect. And you'll see we have 4 different folders. All of these email signatures are organized. You have modern, normal, vertical, and widescreen. And you can toggle your view over here at the top right so you can kind of see what all of them look like. So let's open up this first one here by double clicking. And this looks good to use for my email signature. So you can see when I'm trying to click, I can select, but I can't edit anything. This is because all of our signatures are in the view only mode. And you'll see it also has 2 extra slides that you may not want. This second slide is explaining because these email signatures are single image blocks, individual elements, like if you want your email or website or Facebook logo, each individually linked, that is not functional. You'll have to visit this website here, which you can copy and paste in a new tab if you want to have a signature linked with linked elements. And then the third slide is simply a reminder to watch that video for instructions. So these choices are on our Google Drive. So if you would like, just come over to our website, KW Resources, Templates, then Email Signatures to view all of those right away. So if this is the one you want to edit, you would come over to the File tab, hover over Make a Copy, and choose Selected Slides, because you really don't need that slide 2 and 3. Rename it if you wish, and click OK. And now we can edit all of the pieces on here. You can simply right-click, replace image, upload from computer, and let's see if I remember where my headshot is. Perfect. So just venturing to where that's saved on my computer and double clicking immediately pasted this right over top of Scott's. Changing the name, I can double click here, double click here. I can also use the backspace on my keyboard. Oh, I already had caps on. If you're on a PC, the keyboard shortcut for the R in a circle is Alt 0174. Phone number. Email address. So just replacing all of these options. You can even replace the logo, again, by clicking to select, right-clicking, replace image, upload from computer. And I don't know that I have mine exactly, but I'll just pull up one that I recently pulled. Oh, and that one's going to be too big. Let's reset image. There we go. You can also see Google has these grid lines that pop up too, so you can use them to center your pieces. And you can also use the directional pad on the keyboard to move things around. Don't forget to replace your address. You can also change the text font and color and size, just like Command. There we go. Didn't want it bold. You can even change the font here. Perfect. Once that's good to go, we do take an additional step to make sure that this comes out looking correctly, not so blurry. So I'm going to go to File, Download, and then choose PDF. Now, this is an email signature. It sounds a little weird choosing PDF, but stick with me. I just want to save file. Okay. And then this extra step, we're going to go to PDF to jpg.net, and we're going to convert that PDF to a JPEG. So I'm going to click this Choose a PDF file, venture to my saved file here, double click to select, and then I'm going to change the quality to excellent and convert. Once that's done, you can download. And again, I'm in Firefox, so once it's downloaded, it's going to come to the very top in the download arrow. And I'm going to click to open and show you. And this will be, about this size when I upload it to my email. So feel free to check out that video to see how that's done. But that is it for today. Of course, if you have any other questions that you didn't ask today or you think of later, you can contact us. Yeah, you most certainly can upload it to your Outlook as well. Yeah. Any email, really, Yahoo, Hotmail, etc. That is it for class today, though. And thank you for joining, and hope you have a wonderful day and a fabulous weekend.